Okay, I want to record a little bit of my remembrance of the Rev Al Sharpton rally, and this is where it took place. This used to be called Serenity Church. It was the church of Reverend Floyd Rose, who started off as the leader of the People's Tribunal, which was a civil rights organization which morphed into the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He not only paid Jackie Johnson's bail when she was arrested for civil disobedience at the Lowndes Courthouse, he also offered his church to the Reverend Al Sharpton rally. Inside, in the back there's an African American museum, or there used to be when this was Serenity Church. This is where almost all the civil rights organization and planning was conducted. It is no longer such a place, to the best of my knowledge. It's got a new pastor, and I don't believe they are as involved in civil rights in Valdosta as we were when Reverend Rose was the president of the People's Tribunal and SCLC. And let me tell you a little bit about the church. It used to be a Church of the Nazarene denomination, and what I was told by various black leaders who came to Serenity Church and gave presentations is that the Church of the Nazarene was very heavily invested in the abolitionist movement, and so they wanted to overturn the laws of slavery in our country, and so they built their churches in the shape of an overturned ship, a slave ship, and this is supposed to represent the hull of a slave ship turned upside down. And when you go inside, you can see those same curved arches there's two of them out here in front. When you go inside, there's a series of brown wooden arches that go all the way to the back, and it's just simply stunning. So Al Sharpton came. There was standing room only inside. They opened all these windows over here, and I was at the very first window, to the best of my knowledge. I could have been at the second one, but I was right there so that I could hear what Al Sharpton was saying. And at this point, everyone in the civil rights community was asking for the DOJ to come in. Most of us believed that his death was an accident, but because there were so many allegations made against all of the leaders in our community, we felt that if the DOJ came in and conducted an outside investigation, that it would give the family comfort and closure, and it would also give our community satisfaction in knowing that the concerns of the Johnsons were addressed by an outside agency, and that I believed that they would find that the Lowndes County Sheriff's investigation was valid, and that KJ died of an accident, and therefore it should have dismissed all of the allegations that the Johnsons kept making about public individuals. But that didn't happen. The Johnsons went forth and they sued everybody anyway. So, as I said, I was over here at this window, and I heard Al Sharpton say, "We are collecting a reward that the Johnsons will offer for information about the death of their son, and I'm going to put $500 into the collection plate." I was friends with most of the officers in the church, insofar as the treasurer and various lay ministers in the church, and every time either the People's Tribunal or the Southern Christian Leadership Conference or the church, anytime money was collected, there was always at least two, possibly more people that counted the money, and a record of it was made. So most of these donations were cash, and as I said, Al Sharpton put $500 in, and the $8,000 that was raised was given to the Kendrick Johnson family to offer a reward. They never offered one. So the community started asking, where's the reward, where's the reward? And they said, well, Al Sharpton kept most of that reward. Well, later on, when they sued the Bell family, that was the only group of people that the Kendrick Johnson family deposed. That means they recorded their testimony under oath, sworn testimony upon penalty of perjury. Those were the only people that they deposed. And in those transcripts, you can find a record of the Johnsons saying that they lived off donations for 2 years. We know that they quit their jobs upon the death of their son, and they traveled the country, and they didn't file any income tax. And in the depositions, they say, we lived off donations for 2 years. They raised a tremendous amount of money, not only at the rally, but later with their various GoFundMes, and they passed the collection hat all over the country at the various rallies they went to. So I just want to let you know, I was an eyewitness to the Rev Al Sharpton rally. They collected a reward. The people in charge told me that there was $8,000 that was supposed to be used as a reward. That's why people donated. And the Kendrick Johnson family never offered a reward. And we can come back to that later, because there were 2 rewards, and there's currently one out there right now from the current Lowndes County Sheriff. And never in the 9 years since KJ's death has the Kendrick Johnson family offered a reward for the identification of these murderers that they claim are still running free.